Meghan Markle is under fire after her bizarre viral video sparked massive backlash. And now, Netflix is caught in the crossfire. Let's break down the chaos. So, here's the thing. Meghan Markle really thought she had a viral win on her hands. A bold, empowering moment. A mic drop for the critics. But instead, what she got was a digital wildfire. Because in the age of social media, one strange video can burn through reputations faster than any headline. And this one, it didn't just go viral, it exploded. But what exactly happened? Why are people so outraged? And what does Netflix, yes, Netflix, have to do with all this? Let's break it down. It all started when Meghan posted a video to Instagram, something she rarely does these days. The clip was short, unpolished, and deeply confusing. It appeared to show Meghan in a hospital room, heavily pregnant, dancing and posing to a loud rap track. Prince Harry was also there, or at least his blurry silhouette was, lurking in the background with his face turned away from the camera. The entire vibe was off. Meghan's movements were erratic. The setting felt intimate in a way that didn't match the public tone she usually keeps, and instantly, people were asking the same question. What exactly is this supposed to be? At face value, it looked like a quirky personal video, but the internet wasn't having it. Memes flooded in. Comments ranged from confused to concerned to outright mocking. People said it felt like something out of a satire. Others called it a PR stunt gone wrong. Some just wanted to know why it existed at all, and what made it worse, Meghan claimed. This video was old, 4 years old, filmed during her pregnancy with Archie. But almost immediately, people started questioning that. Internet sleuths began analyzing every detail, from the lighting in the room to the background track to her hairstyle and makeup. Allegedly, many believe the video is far more recent than Meghan claimed, and that detail alone opened up a whole new level of scrutiny. Now, speculation around the timing might seem trivial, but in the world of public image, it's everything. If Meghan was honest about the clip's age, maybe this would have blown over. But because people started to suspect she was hiding something, it snowballed, and one detail raised major red flags. Harry's face. Throughout the entire video, his face is either blurred, turned away, or shadowed, almost as if, according to critics, the footage was intentionally framed to avoid revealing the actual timeline. Some viewers pointed out that if Harry's face had been clearly visible, people could have identified exactly when it was filmed based on his appearance or context from their public schedule. That kind of detail matters, especially when you're a global public figure whose every move is documented. But things didn't stop with the video. They rarely do with Meghan, because instead of ignoring the backlash or clarifying the confusion, she doubled down. Publicly, Meghan stood by the video. She insisted it was a form of self-expression, a message to her critics, a way to show that women can be strong, free, and joyful, even in moments of vulnerability like pregnancy. In theory, that kind of empowerment narrative could have landed well. But, in reality, it didn't. Because of how it was framed, and because of how she responded to the criticism, it came off as yet another chapter in what many see as Meghan's ongoing narrative of victimhood. She took to interviews and public statements suggesting that those who criticized the video were jealous, damaged, or simply unwilling to accept her authenticity. And that's where public opinion really started to sour, because instead of engaging with the backlash in a thoughtful way, Meghan appeared to turn the tables, painting herself as a misunderstood hero and everyone else as the problem. This is a pattern we've seen before, and it's one that's become increasingly polarizing. But here's where the real drama started to build, behind the scenes. Because allegedly, Netflix was completely blindsided by this video. Sources close to the production claimed that no one at the streaming giant saw it coming. Executives were caught off guard, especially because Meghan's video directly intersected with their current partnership. You see, Meghan has an ongoing deal with Netflix, including the docuseries With Love, Meghan, which had already received mixed reactions from viewers and critics alike. So when the viral clip dropped, complete with pregnancy visuals, emotional tone, and questionable optics, it immediately sparked panic behind closed doors. Reports began surfacing that Netflix executives, including co-CEOs Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters, were not only surprised by the video, but deeply concerned about its impact. According to insiders, they contacted Meghan shortly after the post went live, asking her to take it down in hopes of containing the backlash. But Meghan, once again, refused. She reportedly insisted that the video was meaningful to her, that It wasn't intended to spark controversy, and that she had every right to keep it up. Because of this, the situation escalated. Netflix was now stuck between a rock and a very public, very loud place. And it gets worse. Because the video didn't just harm Meghan's brand, it damaged Netflix's. Public trust in the streaming platform was already shaky due to a series of misfires, polarizing content, and what some see as an over-reliance on celebrity deals. Meghan was supposed to be a stabilizing force, a high-profile figure who could bring legitimacy, substance, and star power. But instead, the partnership is now being dragged through the mud over a 30-second Instagram post. One that, ironically, had nothing to do with Netflix directly, but became their problem because of association. Internally, things reportedly grew tense. Multiple sources, speaking anonymously to UK and US media outlets, suggested there's now a rift among senior decision-makers at the company. Some want to continue supporting Meghan and salvage the remaining content pipeline. Others allegedly believe it's time to distance the platform from her entirely before more damage is done. The reason? It's not just about bad PR. It's about brand identity. Netflix has been struggling to present itself as a serious, culturally aware content platform, and Meghan's increasingly erratic public image is starting to clash with that mission. Meanwhile, production on her next project is hitting roadblocks. With Love, Meghan was supposed to get a second installment, not a full new season, but a continuation of the current story arc. However, rumors now indicate that filming has slowed down. Some segments are being rewritten, and scenes that involve parenting, pregnancy, or anything remotely resembling the hospital setting from the viral video are allegedly being reevaluated altogether. Staff involved in the production reportedly feel uncomfortable moving forward as if nothing happened, especially since the video's reception was overwhelmingly negative. And while all of this unfolds behind the scenes, Meghan continues her public pivot. She's given multiple interviews where she talks about identity, motherhood, and how women should be free to express themselves without judgment. She insists that this is her moment, her time to take control of the narrative. But critics aren't buying it. Many say she's out of touch, that she's leaning so far into her self-appointed role as a public healer, a life coach, a motherhood guru, that she's become disconnected from how the public actually sees her, that instead of rebuilding trust, she's making things worse by doubling down on a message that isn't resonating. And just when you think the situation couldn't spiral any further, social media adds gasoline to the fire. The video, still live on Instagram, is being analyzed frame by frame. People are zooming in on reflections, timestamps, even background shadows. Some users are making long-form content breaking down why they believe the pregnancy in the clip may have been staged. A highly speculative and controversial claim that, while not backed by any proof, is gaining traction in certain corners of the internet. It's important to note that these conspiracy theories remain unverified and largely debunked, but the very fact that they're spreading says a lot about how toxic the online discourse has become, and the fallout isn't stopping there. Meghan's decision to leave the video up, despite mounting criticism, is turning what could have been a small media blip into a full-blown crisis. Every hour that the clip stays public, more people are reacting, reposting, and analyzing. The backlash has gone far beyond typical royal gossip. It's become a cultural flashpoint. Viewers aren't just questioning the video's authenticity or the motives behind it. They're questioning Meghan's entire approach to public life. Her decisions are being seen less as moments of empowerment and more as calculated attempts to control a narrative that's slipping further and further out of her grasp. What's even more damaging is that the video is now overshadowing everything else she's working on. Any podcast plans, charity work, or branding moves she had lined up? Completely buried. The internet isn't talking about Meghan's latest interview or cause. It's talking about her hospital dance moves and blurry hair in the background. In one clip, she managed to erase months of careful image management. And because of this, Meghan has once again become the story. Not for her voice or her projects, but because of a moment that many are calling bizarre, tone-deaf, and wildly inappropriate. And here's the twist that makes this all the more surreal. Meghan reportedly believes she's winning. According to sources close to her camp, she interprets the viral nature of the backlash as proof of her influence. She sees the engagement, the likes, the comments, the reposts, as signs that she's sparking conversation, challenging norms, shaking the table. In her mind, the chaos validates her message. But from the outside, it's a different story. To the average viewer, it doesn't look like an empowering moment. It looks like a misstep that she refuses to acknowledge. A moment that could have been quietly walked back, but instead has been elevated into a symbol of her brand. And because of this refusal to take accountability, even neutral audiences are starting to pull away. It's not about being pro-Meghan or anti-Meghan. It's about watching a public figure make repeated, easily avoidable mistakes and then act like it's everyone else who needs to change. The more she positions herself as a misunderstood icon, the more exhausted her audience becomes. Because at some point, people stop empathizing and they start rolling their eyes. Meanwhile, back at Netflix, the stakes are getting higher, according to new reports from entertainment insiders. There are ongoing internal discussions about what to do next. Some insiders suggest that Netflix executives are now quietly adjusting their marketing strategy around Meghan's projects. The goal? Minimize risk, distance the brand from potential controversy. There are even whispers that the platform might scale back the visibility of With Love, Meghan in upcoming promotional pushes, instead redirecting focus to safer, less polarizing content. That hasn't been confirmed officially, but if true, it's a major sign that confidence is fading. And yet, Meghan seems unfazed. She's reportedly doubling down on her creative output, not backing down, not reflecting. Instead, she's allegedly planning to launch more self-produced content, including a podcast relaunch focused on, ironically, healing, identity, and motherhood. But the question is, who's still listening? Because what might have once sounded like an inspiring message is now being drowned out by the noise of her own contradictions. And that's the core issue here. It's not that Meghan posted a weird video. Public figures make strange choices all the time. It's the way she handled the aftermath. The lack of reflection, the insistence that any and all criticism is rooted in jealousy or bigotry. The refusal to admit that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the moment to try and reframe a hospital dance as feminist performance art. And when you couple that with a streaming partner that's already on shaky ground, the result is inevitable. Brand damage, audience fatigue, a growing sense that Meghan Markle is no longer a symbol of grace and growth, but of stubborn self-indulgence. Still, the video remains up. The comments continue to pour in, and the discourse online shows no signs of slowing down. People are confused, yes, but more than that, they're frustrated. Frustrated at being gaslit. Frustrated at being told that if they're not moved by the video, it's because they're unhealed. Frustrated that Meghan seems more focused on asserting control than building trust. Because in today's world, authenticity isn't about pushing your version of the truth. It's about knowing when to listen. And so, here we are, a 30-second video that turned into a cultural flashpoint, a PR disaster that could have been avoided, a partnership that may never fully recover. Meghan Markle may believe she's leading a movement, but to the public, it's looking more and more like she's spiraling into a self-made meltdown. And the irony, this entire situation could have been avoided with a simple moment of self-awareness. A pause, a step back, a decision to say, you know what, maybe this wasn't it. Instead, we got the opposite. And now, both Meghan and Netflix are left dealing with the consequences. Because no matter what happens next, whether the video stays up or comes down, whether the podcast gets released or scrapped, the damage is already done. Trust has been shaken, credibility questioned, and the public, they're not forgetting anytime soon. But now, I want to hear from you. Was the backlash deserved? Did Meghan cross a line? Or was the video blown way out of proportion? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown informative, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into celebrity culture and controversy. Because the drama never stops, and neither do we.